welcome to Bayern Ridder. I'm your host, Ridder, and let's hang out. What a game today. Bayern Munich was pretty dominant today, and I'm super excited to talk about it. So, first things first, rest in peace, Gerd Mueller. I didn't say it last video, and I definitely should have said something about it, but it was nice today to see all the players in their warm-up gear with the number 9s and Mueller on the back of them, and everyone had the minute of silence at the beginning honoring Gerd Mueller. That was pretty cool. I mean, what a player he was, and it's great to remember a player like him, especially. So rest in peace, Gerd. Let's get right into it. So I just want to say real quick that I do not like the third kit that we wore today. It looks like a training kit to me. It looks like a training top, and it looks kind of sloppy, and it looks like it's supposed to be worn in the warm-ups and not during the game. So starting out, we had a much better sense of urgency than the game versus Gladbach, which was definitely needed. Going forward, we had a sense of urgency coming back, defending. We had numbers coming back defending with a lot of intentionality. So that was really, really good to see, especially after kind of the sloppy, almost lazy feeling that I got from last game. Partially, I think that was maybe just because it was the first game of the season. We still saw some silly kind of mistakes this game due to it also being early in the season, but I do believe that today was a lot better when it came to just work rate. I saw a lot of hustle from a lot of the players, front players coming back to help with the back players overlapping, going forward. So that was really good to see. We created a lot of chances in the first half. I think that we should have scored at least 2 or 3 in the first half. We got one right before halftime, which was great. Lewandowski with a great header. Couldn't believe it took us that long to score. We had plenty of chances to score, and just kind of, just a little lackadaisical with the finishing, which I was worried about because last game I thought the same thing. We just weren't very clinical, and so I was really hoping that this game we would kind of turn that around. So overall, first half, very, very dominant in my opinion. Dortmund didn't bring much. A couple of occasional offside that they could have been threatening had they been onside, but we had good line, good organization in the back, I thought, especially in the first half. Also, Neuer played amazing the entire game, but also during the first half, he had a couple one-on-one saves that really saved us. So we come out second half, ready to work again. Davies overlaps. It was just a great work by Davies. Really, the whole goal probably belongs mostly to Davies and Lewandowski. Mueller scored the goal, but honestly, just the slightest of touches from Lewandowski, I think it was definitely his assist, but Davies with a great overlapping run to get across to Leva, who, that back heel was just a thing of beauty. And Mueller with probably the easiest finish of his life, but then we went 2-1 up because of it. One thing I noticed then was that Dortmund's right back, Paslak, was absolutely horrible for them this game, in my opinion. We talked about it in the pregame kind of predictions that whichever team's defense showed up, that they were probably going to win the game. And I think Dortmund definitely made a couple huge mistakes in the back. We scored the second goal at the 50th minute, and the next 15-20 minutes, we were actually probably the worst we were in the entire game. Dortmund were definitely on the front foot, and we were on our back foot, struggling to kind of cover runs. They were very dynamic, and the biggest thing I thought is every time we won the ball, we could not complete 1 or 2 passes to kind of get out of pressure, and Dortmund were taking advantage of that. I think we got really lucky to not have been scored on more than once. So Dortmund capitalized with a fantastic strike from Marco Reus. Neuer couldn't do anything about it. He actually almost got a hand to it. I think he was cheating a little bit to the near post already, and he still couldn't get to it. So just a perfect strike from the captain, Marco Reus. After that goal, Dortmund also came out with a ton of energy, and I think they could have scored another one. But then in the 75th minute, Talisso comes on. A couple minutes before the 75th minute, Talisso pressures Akanji, who just takes a bad touch and attempts to pass it basically through Talisso. Talisso just gave great pressure, and the ball happened to bounce to Lewandowski one-on-one. He's just not going to miss that, so we go 3-1 up. So overall, as I said before, again in the pre-match prediction, the team with the worst defense is going to lose the game because both attacks are pretty electric. And I thought our defense was great, and I thought Dortmund's defense was generally bad. Just a couple individual mistakes that just were absolutely horrible. I thought, especially the Akanji one. because Dortmund had just got themselves back into the game, only to give it away with something like that was pretty bad from Akanji, so you got to feel for him. All right, let's get into match ratings. So I am going to give Lewandowski man of the match, 2 goals, 1 assist. Absolutely world-class performance, hitting the ground running in this new season, staying relevant for the Ballon d'Or, definitely right out the gate. So man of the match, definitely Lewandowski for me. Moving on to Mueller, I'm going to give Mueller an 8. Solid game from Mueller. Just a couple, misplaced passes here and there. But he got a goal, and he was commanding in the front, helping organize people. Moving on to Kingsley Coman. I think Kingsley Coman was okay. He definitely could have been better here and there, but he was causing a little bit of problems for Dortmund's defenders. Moving on to Gnabry. Gnabry, man, he was pretty good. I don't think I can rate him quite as good as Mueller, but he was all right. He was definitely threatening. I'm kind of waiting for him to hit his stride as well, just because he's kind of not gotten any goals recently. We haven't seen him kind of hit that 2020 Champions League form. So Gnabry, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Moving on to Goretzka. Definitely not bad. He was kind of present in the attack, present in the defense. I'm going to give him a 7.5, and the only reason why is because I don't think he did anything spectacular, but also we kind of attacked on the wings, and so Goretzka, and same with Kimmich, honestly wasn't too involved. Mueller had to drift wide to receive the ball a lot of times. We really didn't attack up the middle a lot during this game. I think I saw at halftime that 60% of Bayern Munich's attack was coming from the left side, so obviously you're going to get that with someone like Davies quite frequently. So I'm going to give Goretzka 7.5. Not a bad game. He did his job. Kimmich, I think, was a solid player today, as can be expected from this point. Mr. Consistency in terms of nicknames, I definitely could give him that one. I'm going to give him an 8, just a solid performance. He's so calm under pressure. It's great to have a player like him in the middle of the field for your team. So moving on to Davies. Davies is going to be another candidate for man of the match if it weren't for Lewandowski kind of getting his name on the scoreboard. Davies, I'm going to give him a 9, just behind Lewandowski, just because he was all over the pitch, man. There was a couple times when he came back and was defending and just burned everybody getting back. He's so freaking fast, man. It's incredible. And then obviously overlapping, going forward, causing problems, beating players one-on-one, and he hardly misplaced a ball, I thought, all game. Even had a couple long pings that were really, really nice, just on point. So great game from Davies. Sula had a great game. I thought that Erling Haaland is probably going to be one of the most difficult people to defend in the entire world right now, and Sula did a great job. He got beat a couple times just due to the sheer athleticism of Haaland, and players like Giovanni Reina had a good game. Malin came on and caused a little bit of stress for us, I think, just due to fresh legs. Sula had a great game today in terms of him trying to get back into the swing of things, trying to get back into form. So I'm going to give him an 8. Solid game from Sula, in my opinion. Upamecano had a great game today in comparison with his last game. No shouts for penalties like he did versus Gladbach, so that was great to see. Solid game from him as well. Great to see him building kind of a partnership with Sula as well. I thought he did very well in his distribution as well as his defending work, so I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Great performance from both of our center backs today. Moving on to Stanislich. Stanislich, I think, was unfortunately our worst player. He's not really impressing me. I don't expect a lot from him. I don't want anybody to think that I'm expecting him to put out world-class performances every week. He's super young. He's getting into the swing of things. He's covering for people who are injured. So I can't really expect too much from him. However, I do think that he gave the ball away needlessly too many times for me to give him a better rating than a 6. I think he did. He was in some good positions sometimes. But unfortunately, he gave the ball away a little bit too often for me, for a right back. You shouldn't be losing the ball too much. It's not like you're a winger. Moving on to Manuel Neuer, the captain. I'm going to give him an 8.5. Very solid game from him. Hardly made any mistakes. I don't think he really made any mistakes besides the occasional misplaced pass. But I can't really blame him for that when he's under so much pressure. Dortmund did a great job with their high press today in a lot of instances. I thought Neuer made a couple great sweeper keeper moves, and nothing he really could have done about the goal. So yeah, I think I'm going to give him an 8.5. Nagelsmann, I'm going to give Nagelsmann an 8.5 as well, because I think we were extremely improved from last game in terms of defensive organization, and our attack was more clinical than it was the other day. Can't ask for much more than that. A 3-1 win is a pretty solid win. We capitalized on mistakes. I think we should have been a little bit more clinical, however, in the first half, but generally speaking, I think the high press worked very well, and our defensive organization improved. So 8.5 for Julian Nagelsmann. Moving on to the substitutes, I'm going to give Musiala an 8.5 as well. It may seem generous, but man, he impresses me so much every time he comes on the field. Maybe it's because he has fresh legs, but he was solid when he came on the field, creating chances, causing problems, and he's super young too, man. It's great to see a player like him making strides. Moving on to Talisso. Talisso, man, I know he was basically solely responsible for Lewandowski's goal there versus Akanji when he pressured him, but to be honest, other than that, he didn't do much for me. Talisso is a tough one, man. He's probably one of my least favorite players at Bayern Munich. I don't like to talk bad about too many people, but he gives the ball away too much for me, and doesn't offer enough for me. He's just a okay player. Generally speaking, he's had some good goals here and there for the team, and it's unfortunate that he might be transferred soon, but he had a good game today. I'm going to give him a 7.5. But, other than the pressure that he gave on Akanji, he didn't really do much. Kind of lost the ball here and there. I mean, I don't know. Not bad. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but anyway, moving on to Sane. Sane, man. Sane, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I really, really, really want him to do well. And he's like almost there, but then he'll just be like a little bit, I feel like almost lazy on the ball, man. I don't know if I'm being harsh on him as well, but he's just kind of lacking that heart a little bit. Like it's almost like he just gets a little bit lazy, a little bit upset sometimes. But hopefully he'll hit a higher gear here soon, and we'll see the Sane that we spent so much money on. But I have faith. Nagelsmann will work it out. Choupo-Moting and Bunassar came on. Didn't do much. I'm not going to give them any ratings. They didn't do enough, in my opinion, to get a negative or positive rating. Choupo-Moting could have had a goal if he hit the ball a little bit stronger contact. It was on his weak foot. But I'm not gonna get too upset about him coming in, subbing in for the best striker in the world, and trying to do a job compared to him is going to be tough for anybody. So, rating the ref, man. Rating the ref. I'm gonna give him. Man, that's tough. I put 7.5 on here, but honestly, I feel like he was inconsistent, man. To be honest, he would play advantage, and then there's like not much advantage to be played, and then not blow the whistle, and then he would call one back when there was advantage to be played sometimes. Just seemed inconsistent to me. He seemed a little bit soft as well, like a little bit harsh on some of the calls. Like sometimes I appreciate when a ref does just let the players play. So, Dortmund fans are probably a little bit more upset about the referee than I am. Obviously, we got the win, but generally speaking, I think he did an okay job. Not the best. Overall, guys, great game. Great to see Nagelsmann get his first trophy with his first win with Bayern Munich, just as we had hoped. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this season takes us. I know this was pretty much just a glorified friendly, but the way we played today made me so excited to get into the real nitty-gritty parts of the season. And yeah, let's see if we can get some more trophies come later in the year. So if you like what you saw today, definitely like and subscribe. I'll be making Bayern Munich content for the foreseeable future. I'm working on getting some live streams set up. We can do live match watch-alongs. We can do some FIFA streaming, career mode, pro clubs. So if you love Bayern Munich and you are interested in any of that type of stuff, come hang out, man. Come subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take it easy. Have a good one.